Welcome to our podcast, Learn Biblical Greek, brought to you by Dr. William Stewart, the co-founder of Teleios. This captivating podcast teaches you biblical Greek through a verse-by-verse study of the book of Ephesians, interjecting Greek grammar, Greek word meanings, and vital theology concepts. Thanks for joining us on this exciting biblical journey. Your study will be more effective if you use the Greek text with the Bible word codes, either on the eSword download or Bible Hub website. These links are on our podcast website at www.teliosresearch.com.
Hi, William Stewart, co-founder of Teleios. Welcome back to our podcast on learning biblical Greek. We're having fun learning Greek, the original language of the New Testament, as it was given by the Holy Ghost to the apostles for our way to salvation and how to live the Christian life. We are in Ephesians 2, verse 8, the second half of the verse today, a wonderful verse on salvation. A really foundational verse on salvation. And make sure you have your grammar open as linked from the website, your Greek text with the codes. Let's get started, starting with the word kai, as we often do, and most common word in the New Testament, meaning it's a conjunction. These are very important in Greek to link phrases since there's no punctuation and very rare capitalization. And it means and with joining similar thoughts, as the Greek scholar Runge says. Tuto, this is a demonstrative pronoun meaning this, here, and that O indicates the dative, the nominative, singular, and the neuter. Uk, this is the negative particle. The strongest one, as opposed to me, which is softer, the K is at the end because phonetically it is followed by a word that starts with a vowel, so it's just easier to say ook instead of oo. Same thing with ek, which is x. The next in the text, a preposition, again followed by a vowel, and it changes to x. Umon, your, as typical. Second person plural possessive genitive. That's that third. They do take the third declension ending, so the omega n, which is also the same for first and second declension. Makes it a little easier. Theoton doron. So this is a separate phrase, really. So a gift of God. You could put in there is the to be, the copula can be in there or not. And if it makes translation easier, you can supply it. So todon, that is the, they match, so it's second declension, nominative, singular, and in the neuter. And theon, of course, that OU is the genitive singular, and for the neuter and the masculine. So what do we have here today? And, well, let's start from the beginning of the verse. For by grace you are saved, or really you have been saved, through faith, because of faith, and this not out of yourself, out of you, it is a gift of God. Wow. Great promise. We come to salvation by faith alone in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Many verses attest to this, and I think of the big three, really, Romans 10:9 and Romans 3, 23 to 26, but there are others. The 16s, John 3:16, Galatians 2:16, Romans 4:16, really much of 1 Peter verses 3 to 5, and then about 18 to 21. Romans 1 and Romans 2. They go on and on. And and I think even beyond that, the whole Bible is a testimony that our salvation, our life, our well-being is all by God's power. The lessons start from even in the first chapters of Adam and Eve, that our efforts are in vain and full of sin, and it is only by God's grace, working through our weakness and faith, throughout all of Scriptures, and including salvation, is His will accomplished. Thanks for joining me today. We'll start verse 9 next time in this great salvation passage. Please join me then.